Hello everyone, once again you're almost welcome to our YouTube channel, and today we are going to look at a special topic. First of all, my name is Musuya Margaret, and today we are going to cover something concerning citations. First of all, these citations are called in-text citations. Those are the specific citations that we are going to cover. So this in-text citation, we're going to cover the format which is mostly called the APA style, which is one of the academic writing styles. We are going to begin by defining in-text citations. If you are to define in-text citation, you can say that it is a brief reference to a source that is placed within a text document. So that's how you can define in-text citation. But remember that this in-text citation also has forms. And first of all, the form which is the first is parenthetical in-text citation. Then the next one is narrative in-text citation. So to explain more about the parenthetical and narrative in-text citation. First of all, parenthetical in-text citation can be explained in a way that it uses parentheses to enclose the citation information. Then usually the author's last name and publication. So here we see that this parenthetical in-text citation uses parentheses to enclose the citation information, and usually the author's last name and publication here. That's what makes up the citation information. So let's look at a brief example. Here it says, the study found significant results, comma, in brackets, Smith 2020. So for narrative, if it was narrative in-text citation, would explain this like integrate the citation. The narrative in-text citation integrates the citation information into the text itself rather than using parentheses. So if you are to go to our next slide, you're going to get the summary of what we have been talking about. But first of all, an example of the narrative in-text citation is, according to Smith 2020, the study found significant results. That's what you can say as an example for in-text citation. So if you are to go to the summary of these two, we see that the two ways to insert your citation is narrative and parenthetical citation. Author's family name and year is included at the end of a sentence in parentheses. The author's family name is the surname. For example, here in parenthetical citation, the thing is for which it ends with the author's family name and year of publication. But for narrative, for it, the author's family name is included as part of the sentence, followed by the year in parentheses. For example, we have one which is Smith 2010 discusses how, then those ellipses. Then the second says the year may also be included as part of the narrative. Example, in 2010, Smith noted that. So that's one of them. Next, we are going to look at these citing techniques in APA format. Actually, the most common APA formats, we have the APA 6th edition and APA 7th edition. So if we look at one author, APA and both 6th and 7th edition are phrased in the same style, including the two authors and including one author and two authors are phrased in the same style as seen on the screen. Then if you look for 3 to 5 authors, For sixth edition, gives all the 3 to 5 authors, all their names are listed in the first place. That's what it is. Then you include the year. And then the preceding work, you just put one author like how it is done in the 7th edition. It's all year. But the 7th edition, it remains this, whether it is 6th edition or APA 7th edition. So let's go to when there are 6 or more authors, it is phrased in the same style. Author 1 et al. Then you put the year. So in case we are having a group with abbreviation and we have to cite it. For the first time while you are citing, write the whole name or the full name of the organization, then you put in brackets an abbreviation, and then a year, and we close our brackets. This is when you're using parentheses, but if you're using narrative, we don't put brackets except on the year in all these that we are doing. So because if it is also in the APA 7th edition, still it is the same style. Then if we look at the group without abbreviations, it's an organization, so we can just put the organization name and the year, the brackets, and that also applies to the 7th edition. Then for citing a source, a secondary source, write the author who is using that secondary source, then you cite the secondary source, and this applies to both 6th edition and 7th edition of the APA citing technique. So if you are to look also where we have multiple works by the same author, the author here, if you are using 6th edition and 7th edition, it is still the same style. Just write the author's name, then arrange by starting with the letter, then come to the current year. So as you continue, next, when the book has no author, what do you do? It's easy that in both in the 6th and in the 7th edition, we all cite the year and the source. We just put the title of the source and the year. But in case the source has no date, we shall just include this one here, author's last name, and we write no date, which is ND here, as abbreviated, and the same to the 7th edition. So if you are to go to our next, we are going to look at key guidelines to note when we are citing. And first of all, you are going to begin when phrasing. So when phrasing, first of all, when we are phrasing, what we do is the key guidelines to note. I've just displayed them at once. When paraphrasing is that the key to developing the skill to restart other people's ideas in your own words is to develop your own repertoire of words that can be used in academic writing. So you can use this in academic writings when you're making articles. So in our articles, you can get from a secondary, from the primary source, and a book that we are writing article becomes a secondary source. So how do you cite? How do you paraphrase? So this also helps in that academic writing. Next is that after the structure in which the next one is that should alter the structure in which the information is presented. Then restart the information by referring to the author. For example, Musuya 2000 highlights, or according to Musuya 2000, or as highlighted by Musuya 2000 with the ellipses, the 3 dots. Then, so let's try to package our sentences with the following starters. So to improve the way we phrase, we paraphrase, try to package your sentences using the following sentence starters. For instance, look at this when paraphrasing. First of all, let me say this concept is about this. You write what the concept is about. When paraphrasing, you can also say this issue focuses on or involves or integrates or highlights or illustrates this. Highlights, displays. So the one which suits you. When paraphrasing, also you should consult a thesaurus for ideas on how things to say things differently. So consult a thesaurus for ideas on how to say things differently. So consult a thesaurus so that you're able to find the very many ways of how things are said differently. For instance, in the thesaurus, you're going to find very many things, and this will help you improve and increase on the way you paraphrase. So next, you should draw on different linking words to begin sentences as well as to link different ideas within the same sentence. For example, typically, or in other words, or in relation to. Then another one that you should expand and elaborate on what the author is saying. So next one, that alternatively simplify and shorten what the author is saying. So whatever the author is saying, please try to shorten it. Next is that you can include a value judgment as you put ideas into your words. So please include some value judgment. This is because it takes into account various factors. So please, it is very useful, so please take it into account. So as we go on, the commonest thing we do while citing, kind of citations, we do quoting. Therefore, another guideline when you're quoting, type the exact spelling, wording, and punctuation of the original source. So that one helps a lot. Let me say, if it's in American, if it is in Russian, if it is in whatever spelling, British spelling, please, whatever it is in, please just quote by typing the exact spelling, wording, and punctuation of the original source without changing anything. Then another one is that if you need to add words into a quotation for clarification, place the addition no into brackets. For instance, let me say World Health Organization. Most people find it easy to say it in full, but some people only know which is WHO. Some people know only who, some people know only World Health Organization, and some know both. So for clarification, just put it, some in brackets and the full name outside the brackets. So place the addition in the bracket. So the addition is the WHO, which is who. The next one is that if there are errors in the original source, put the Latin word sic, S-I-C, after the errors in the square brackets to ensure that this word appeared in the original location. Then, if you need to remove details from a quotation, replace the words removed with an ellipsis. When you're removing a quotation, replace the words removed with an ellipsis. The ellipsis, they are just 3 dots. Immediately after what you've removed, just put the 3 dots. Replace the words that you've removed. So that's what we can say about this point concerning ellipsis. Another thing is that you should integrate the quotation in your work. Do not leave them hanging, especially for a secondary source where you're supposed to cite a source within a source. So for the secondary source quotations provided, that the source is not available, both the sources must be mentioned. So please take note of whatever we have learned today. Please share with someone, and if possible, please teach someone. So thank you very much. Please hope, subscribe, like, comment, and please don't forget to storm the comment section. Actually, your comments are too wonderful and they build a lot to this channel. Your comments help us to improve our channel so that next time become more educated than it is. Therefore, please storm the comment section. It is my humble request. And I'd request you that if you've not understood anything, please ask through the comment section. So thank you very much for all. Thank you for listening. All I can say is, may God bless you abundantly. Please don't forget to tune in for our next upcoming videos. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.